Let's go ahead and get you out the door with your headlines for today. There goes my microphone. Hopefully you can still hear me. So we are going to be feeling really pleasant all the way through your Friday. So today, tomorrow, pick days of the week. I think today might just beat tomorrow by a smidge. That's if you like slightly cooler conditions, but it's a seasonal day. We'll warm up a little bit tomorrow, but really that heat and humidity will be returning as we head into your weekend. And so it's going to be toasty. That oppressive heat arrives and that could trigger some storms by Sunday. And we're going to hold on to that active pattern through the early part of next week. So here is a live look at downtown Detroit, specifically Belle Isle, as we zoomed in with our camera here. And you can see that orange glow. That has to do with the fact that we do have some of that wildfire smoke aloft. In fact, a moderate layer up above, and that's going to bring us some filtered sunshine today, but it does bring those colorful sunrises and sunsets. So 66 degrees in the city. We're just shy of 60 in Ann Arbor, where it's been a cooler, certainly more comfortable overnight, where you could give the AC a break. 65 in Pontiac, 64 in Monroe, and very light variable wind. Here's the smoke map for you. So moderate smoke across lower Michigan and thick smoke as you get in that northern tier up by Mackinac and across the bridge towards the UP. So you'll notice it in the sky. Will you notice the pollutants? Well, we're not quite to that unhealthy for sensitive groups range with our air quality, so moderate pollutants across the area. So I don't think you'll notice it as much as when we had that stretch of days with air quality advisories. Today's forecast. So we will be into the low to mid 80s, right on par with where we should be. Grab the sunglasses as you head out. High pressure dominating that part of our forecast. Now, tomorrow, much like today, degree or two warmer. Saturday is when we're really cranking up the heat. The humidity is building back in, so that 91 will feel more like 95 degrees with the heat index. And so that's a really good pool day, or if you have a boat and want to hit the water, you know, enjoy the lakes. But Sunday, well, we have chances for some storms, and it could arrive in the morning, but we'll have off and on chances through the day, so that will hinder those temperatures. Still warm, but likely not cracking 90. So as you look at our computer model data, we do pull in some chances as early as about 7 a.m., but then we'll have more widespread chances into the afternoon and evening. We have some moisture dancing around us Monday, so I'll keep a slight chance in the forecast. But Tuesday, I would say, is more of that slam dunk day as far as getting rain, as we will have chances. Now, Tropical Storm Erin, we're taking a look at satellite imagery. You can see that right here, strengthening just a bit at 50 miles per hour, moving west at a slower pace, though, at 17 miles per hour. So just want to let you know that come tomorrow, this will likely strengthen into a hurricane, and by the later part of the weekend into early next week, we're talking a major hurricane. And you see that trajectory that could make landfall in the eastern portion of the U.S. In the interim, though, it's going to have tropical storm force winds for the Leeward Islands, the Virgin Islands, and Puerto Rico. So bring it back close to home. We're into either side of 90 the weekend, but then as we go into next week, temperatures fall. In fact, we have upper 70s for a high by the middle of next week.
On Local 4 Live, doing 2 hours out there talking about the importance of supplies for going back to school and all that.
One of the stories that we shared that Nick did a little earlier, if you missed it, but it was just talking about psychologically what it means for a child to be able to have the new backpack and all the new school supplies, you know, and compared to a child that doesn't. And even from personal experience, know what that's like.
Well, kids that always have it probably... It might not occur to you, but the kids that don't, I grew up in a single family home, and it was always a struggle, and we never had the cool things or the nice things, and sometimes anything at all in those situations. So it just, you go to school and you might not notice it with other kids, but you just feel a little left out. You feel anxious. It's kind of like, I don't have that. And it's just a hollow feeling when you go back to school, which is already can be an anxious time for kids.
So you can fill that just by making a few donations today, and that's what today is all about. So,
and also just have that conversation with your kids too before going back to school about kindness.
Keep that in mind.
Appreciative, being thankful for what you do.
Exactly. And even sharing, you know, I mean, it also teaches you, like, if you have extra, to share it with someone that may need it. So
100%.
Very nice.
All right. Well, we're going to give folks some sunshine today to bring a smile to everyone's face. And some slightly cooler temperatures, which I think is welcome too, along with that lower humidity. And so right now, as we scour the map over the past 24 hours, our temperature changed about 5 to 10 degrees cooler. And so for folks that were out towards Ann Arbor, you might have been able to open the windows overnight as temperatures fell into the 50s. I mean, it was a really nice cool down through the overnight, but right now still holding on to that haze across the area. So filtered sunshine over Belleville, where we sit at 64, 66 at City Airport, 63 in Pontiac, and 64 in Adrian. High pressure to our north will dominate the weather pattern over the next couple of days. So it's cleared out quite a bit of cloud cover. Though with that wildfire smoke, it might seem like it's cloudy out there, but it's not. That's not thin high clouds. That is going to be the wildfire smoke up aloft. And so moderate smoke layer for the Great Lakes region, but you go farther north into Mackinac, Alpena, up towards the UP. That's where the smoke is a bit thicker. So just note that we will be holding on to that. But the air quality, even though it's been impacted, we do have moderate pollutants across the area. We haven't dropped into the unhealthy range. So no advisories to bring you, but I just wanted to bring you up to speed on what we are tracking because that has been an off and on issue over the last several weeks. Forecast planner for your Thursday. Or Friday Eve, feeling great. We're in the low to mid 80s and we have mostly sunny skies on tap today, but filtered sunshine, of course. Lions will be in action at Ford Field this weekend, taking on the Dolphins Saturday for that preseason game. 1 o'clock kickoff. And just note it'll be a muggy morning if you're doing some tailgating or if you're going to be maybe catching dinner downtown and walking around the city after the game. Well, that heat index for the peak heat of the day after the game will be right around 95. So we do get in the low 90s and feeling warmer with the humidity and the heat index. Now your weekend forecast comes Sunday will be a smidge cooler, but we're holding on to off and on rain chances. So that builds back in, and then we'll take that into the early part of next week. Let me show you what I'm talking about here as we have the rain that starts to sink down into our area by Sunday morning. And so that definitely will be clipping northern lower Michigan for at least your Saturday afternoon, evening. And then we start to see that into Sunday morning here, and we'll hold on to off and on chances through the day Sunday. Monday, that moisture's kind of dancing around us. So slight chance for now, more of a slam dunk by the time we get into Tuesday afternoon and evening with those rain chances. Tracking the tropics, Tropical Storm Erin will continue to push westward. Less than 20 mile per hour movement right now, but sustained winds at 50 miles per hour, likely becoming a hurricane tomorrow and a major hurricane over the weekend. And that will then begin to track towards the east coast of the U.S. For next week, we're still too far out to give you a certain landfall, but just know we'll be talking about this over the next week. 7-day forecast here. Well, either side of 90 for the weekend, but temperatures start to slide next week. Comfortable on either side of 80 by Wednesday.